So basically what I'm saying is personal hygiene is a right for everybody in this household, including mama. I think it's so important to get this boundary very clear, because so many people around us might be like, oh my gosh, you haven't showered. Maybe you showering might be me alleviating you from mama duties for a little while. But actually, yes, it is alleviating, but it's not rejuvenating. And so making those boundaries clear for people around you in your support system will be so helpful for them to be able to create an environment that you thrive in, right? Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Krupa. If you don't know, I make faith-based content here on YouTube. So welcome. And if you are a returning friend, hey! So today we're talking all things mental health for mamas. Specifically how to balance your life. I will be doing my makeup. I say makeup very loosely, okay? I'll be just like jazzing up my face a little bit. So my mental health when I became a new mum was all over the place. I was like, oh my gosh, who is this? Like, what is this? And how do I escape, even just for a moment, right? So if that sounds like something you are going through or you have been through, keep on watching, because I would like to share with you guys today what helped me during that time, because mental health is so important. I mean, in general, right? It's important whether you're a mum or not, but as a mum, when you have someone that's like dependent on you, mental health, we really need to get a grip on that. I just want to say, there is no shame of claiming that balance of life, right? I remember when I wasn't a mum and I would see other mums like chase their careers still and do other bits and bobs to stay like relevant in their field of work, etc. I would be the one to like judge and be like, oh my gosh, she's so not maternal, like, oh my gosh, she has no idea what she's doing. But actually, oh my gosh, now that I'm a mum, I can see the value of exactly that. Yeah, because I feel like society has a way of making mums feel that they need to be above everything and need to be like this person that has 300% capacity to do everything, and it's like, actually that's just a setup to fail, really, because that's just not realistic, is it? Let's begin. So number one, let's start with get organized. I really benefited from getting back into my planner. If you know me, if we've had a conversation for like 5 minutes, you know that I love planning. I love to just be organized, right? And as a mum, I really felt like, yes, this is it, because if we're not careful, the whole day will slip through our fingers and we'll feel like we haven't done anything. But actually, pumping for breast milk, that is a huge task that takes up so much time. Taking care of a child, the fact that your child survives the end of the day. My child is there, as you can hear. She's missed a nap, so if you hear a bit of crying, you know why. And so is my husband, as you can hear. Babe, I'm filming. If we're not careful, sometimes the day can slip through our fingers and we feel like we haven't done anything. But actually, we've been productive because we've taken care of a child and we've pumped however many times we've pumped. Also, they say that you release dopamine every time that you complete a task, whether big or small. And so, hello, extra dopamine. So yeah, getting organized and getting back into my planner changed the game for me, because I was able to write things that I've done in the day and associate my feelings of like being tired to having a productive day, which then didn't feel as bad, if that makes sense. Side little note, even if I started the day with a few tasks and then I've done more than that, I would actually, whenever I get a chance, go back to my planner and write that down and then cross it off straight away. That feeling of accomplishment, can we just, so nice, so nice. Try it out. So number two, next point is don't get lost in the sauce. I know being a mama is a great feeling. I love it. I'm here for being a present mama. Yes, yes, yes. But can we just talk about it for a second? Everything is revolved around baby. As soon as baby comes, all our conversations, even like date nights, end up being about the baby in one way or another. When your mum calls you, they're like, put the baby on. It's like, everything is about the baby, right? And so what I mean by don't get lost in the sauce is that yes, be a present mama, I'm all about that, but also stay relevant in your field of interest. So whatever hobbies you have or whatever career paths you're on, make sure you're staying relevant in those kind of conversations. So it might not look like getting back into work, but it could look like a book perhaps, or joining a community of fellow salespeople if you're into sales. Just being relevant, following things on Instagram perhaps that will just keep you relevant in that conversation and keep your brain ticking in that relevant field, if that makes sense. If we're not careful, being a new mum can somewhat strip us of our identity. I've spoken about it a lot in my previous episodes in this series, so do check it out if you haven't. But yeah, I think it's important that we don't get lost too much in the sauce and then still keep ourselves relevant in our fields of interest. That way we're present, but we're also present to ourselves as well, right? Number three is to separate your must-haves and your nice-to-haves. And here's what I mean. Working out, having a shower, brushing your teeth, doing a number two are not luxuries. I learned very, very early on. I remember very early on feeling so confused at the fact that I had to now suddenly be grateful for being able to have time to shower, which is so bizarre. Like when you don't have children, you don't actually think about it. I remember thinking like, wow, I'm so thankful that someone's holding Zoe so I can have a shower. And I'm like, what? It's important that we make those boundaries very clear. There's must-haves and there's nice-to-haves, right? Must-haves is definitely showering, brushing our teeth, doing a number two, whatever it looks like, right? And then the nice-to-haves is the extra bits and bobs that you might like to do, like going for lunch or going to get your nails done or a pedicure, going to get your hair done, right? It's like nice to have those things, but not really necessary for everyday living, right? Just want to put something out there. At the minute, so many people praise my husband for holding his daughter whilst I get my stuff together, like going for a shower, right? Washing my hair. And I'm just like, hold on. I don't get praised when I let him shower or, you know, read a book or work out. So I'm like, we need to fix that, because it further perpetuates this whole idea that a mum should be this superwoman of a mum, and it's like, this is not realistic. Also, this is very taxing, so we need to stop that. But that's just a little rant on the side. So basically what I'm saying is personal hygiene is a right for everybody in this household, including mama. I think it's so important to get this boundary very clear, because so many people around us might be like, oh my gosh, you haven't showered. Maybe you showering might be me alleviating you from mama duties for a little while. But actually, yes, it is alleviating, but it's not rejuvenating. And so making those boundaries clear for people around you in your support system will be so helpful for them to be able to create an environment that you thrive in, right? And so, yeah, definitely think it's important to just put it out there that these are my must-haves and these are my nice-to-haves. Thank you very much. So number 4 is practicing to be still / meditation. So Martin Luther said, I have so much to do that I'm going to spend the first 3 hours in prayer. I mean, 3 hours, that is just something, isn't it? Let me know in the comment section down below if you can do 3 hours of prayer. If so, give your sis some tips, please, because I would love to know how you spend 3 hours in prayer. I can do about an hour before my thoughts start to be like, hurry up, clothes are dried, or, you know. So Zoe, our baby, had colic at 6 weeks. it was horrendous. In the evenings, we had full-on waterworks. I'll dim the lights, I'll rock her, take her to a familiar room, literally tried absolutely everything. And I remember, especially in those moments, I felt so overwhelmed knowing what was ahead of me, but not really knowing, because obviously can't tell the future, can I? But I could somewhat imagine what it was gonna be like with the colic and the screams. It's just a lot. And so practicing to be still was a game changer for me. I remember Leslie specifically saying, like, you need to just be on your own, spend time with the Lord, and see how that goes and see how that works out. And it worked out a treat. Literally all that I would do is pop up my pillow, sit back on my headboard, literally put my head back and pray and invite the Lord to be in that space with me, and that is it. Sometimes I'd fall asleep in prayer, sometimes it will be tears, let me be real. Sometimes it will be just absolute serene silence. And I feel like in those moments, I could almost sense that the Lord was filtering through those thoughts that were overwhelming, that were nerve-wracking, and filtering it through with His truth. And so practicing to just be still was so centering for me. If you're feeling overwhelmed, let this be something that you take away, just to practice being still. I feel like when we're still and we're not so clouded with words, we can really hear what the Lord has to say to us, right? So let me know how that goes. So before my next point, I want to pause right here and say, like this video if you're enjoying it thus far, and make sure you're subscribed. It takes 2 seconds and it really supports this channel. So go ahead and do those things, and let's get back into it. So next point, number 5, is distribute your hats well. This advice I was given by a friend, and it is the best thing ever. You know when some things just click? This is that moment for me. I was asking her how she balanced marriage life and mum life, right? And she said, I just relieve myself from expectations. Are my kids fed? Are my kids loved? Are my kids clean? Are my kids well educated? Well, then I'm doing a good job. By the way, if the light is off today, it's because I'm filming more or less in the evening, and so it's a little bit dark outside. This made me think, like, this really clicked in my head, and actually I realized it's so true. I've been functioning from a place of 300%, right? Making myself believe that I'm this person that contains the capacity of 300%. So I can distribute 100 here, and distribute 100 here, and distribute 100 here. And that is why I was so exhausted all the time. A guest appearance from a very cute person, because she's just a little bit ratty because she missed her nap. Like I was saying, let's not be distracted by how cute she is and so lovely. Yeah, so this was a game changer for me because it helped me to see my space as a cup, right? And to distribute my percentage well. This really alleviated me from so much pressure because, like I said earlier, I feel like society imposes this idea of motherhood onto new mamas or mamas in general, that we should be functioning from a place of like 300%, right? To be this woman that holds the house together and the business together and children together and finances together and education together, and yeah, like all those things have its place, but actually we have 100% to give, right? And that needs to be distributed well. It can't be that I'm giving so much more than that. At the end of the day, I'm taxed, I'm spent, my mental health is at quest here. No, just no. So mamas, I hope that advice has clicked in your heads too. I mean, that was just a game changer for me. But even if you're not a mama, I guess still kind of makes sense, right? So to round up all my tips, here's what I want to say. Let's take control of our mental health and our spaces, mama. It's not a bad idea to ever invest in our mental health. And so I hope these 5 tips have been helpful, have been useful, have been insightful. Let me know in the comment section down below how you take charge of your day or how you take charge of your mental health. And if you haven't checked out the other episodes in this series, I suggest you do that now. I'll leave the videos up here somewhere. I hope that you enjoy them, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!